Hello, I'm Rob Beauregard, your Raptor Research Foundation president, with a recording of my President's Report for 2023. For those of you who weren't lucky enough to be at our fantastic conference in Albuquerque in October. The first few slides review the behind-the-curtains nuts and bolts of the organization. They're not terribly exciting, but we do want the members to have a feel for what it takes to make RRF run. And I'm going to get off the stage here, as it were, removing my little cameo so I don't clutter up the rest of the slideshow. This is some really boring stuff, but we do want you all to know that we are a nonprofit corporation. We have dotted all the I's and crossed all our T's with insurance and annual compliance to both federal and the state of Minnesota where we are registered, so we can maintain that nonprofit status. As your president, I oversee and do my best to coordinate 20 committees, which have a total of 87 members volunteering their time and expertise to help RRF work to accomplish our mission. As I record this, we're in the final week of our 2023 election to replace three board directors whose terms are expiring. A big thanks to our nominating committee, and especially John Smallwood, who stepped up and filled in as the temporary chair and pulled together a really strong list of candidates. We have four directors whose three-year terms are expiring: Trish Miller, Ken Johansson, Manu Grande, and Jennifer Colson. All four of them have agreed to run to continue their terms for another 3 years. And we also have three new candidates who are stepping up to run for the board for the first time. The 12 members of the board plus the elected officers vote on proposals made by either our committees or a member of the leadership team. Much of the business of running our organization is done through our contractors. We have 6 or 7 of them. We're in our 3rd or 4th year with our new office manager, Christy Clacy, handling membership and conference registration out of her office in Topeka. We do wonder how we managed to get by before we hired her. A reminder that renewals for membership for 2024 began on October 1st, so if you haven't renewed your membership, it's time to do so. There's lots of software working behind the curtain to keep us functioning. Megan Judkins, our website guru, handles the website. Christy Clacy runs the Wild Apricot membership and management software. Sophie Garcia-Ross and Becca McCabe did a fantastic job this year with the software that coordinates all the papers and posters for our conference. And Cheryl Dykstra, our JRR editor, handles all the journal-related software. Member numbers are trending down over the past 2 decades. But if we look at the last 10 years, membership is holding steady, so this is really encouraging. We have a very healthy age structure to our membership population, with about 20% being students and early career Raptor researchers. There's quite a bit of turnover here, with some students joining while they work on Raptors for their graduate work, but then leave the organization when they get jobs in some other, much less exciting field of biology. Fortunately, the members who move on are typically replaced by a new cohort of students getting started in Raptor research. We are a really international organization with members in about 50 different countries around the world. We obviously are skewed toward North America, with Canada and the US making up 80% of our members. I won't bore you with all the details here, but just take a moment to point out that the funds we don't need ready access to are invested in a conservative index fund at Vanguard. Our financial picture is really strong. At the end of September, we had $750,000 in our accounts. About $300,000 of that is our endowment for grants and awards, and $260,000 is sitting in our investment account at Vanguard. Of that money, about $100,000 is promised to ongoing projects, but $150,000 is ready to be used to further Raptor research and support our members. While some might call this a rainy day fund, I consider it our war chest. At the board's annual meeting at our Albuquerque conference, The board and officers approved an operating budget for 2024 of about $294,000. Our biggest expenses each year are the conference and our journal. Conferences typically break even or make a modest profit, while the journal earns money from page charges and royalties from Bio One, and is supplemented by generous grants from foundations and individuals to cover waived page charges for researchers who don't have institutional support. Our endowment supports about $14,000 worth of grants and awards, with additional research and travel funds coming out of our cash reserves. To balance this year's budget, we only needed to tap into our cash reserves for less than $5,000. This is a really cool graph, which wasn't in my original presentation that I made at the conference. I've sort of slipped it in here as a bit of staircase wit. What this shows is that our annual budget has almost tripled in about 10 years, which is really fantastic news. So how did we do this? We got serious about fundraising. We realized back in 2018 that if we didn't ask for money, we weren't going to get any. For years, we were operating under the assumption that Raptor researchers don't tend to have a lot of money, so why bother asking our members for donations? As this graph shows, however, our members and several foundations have stepped up and have begun very generously supporting RRF. We've also received our first estate gift. We're actively recruiting members who would like to support RRF through their estate planning and have about a dozen members of our legacy giving team already signed up. If you're interested in looking into legacy gifts to RRF, you can contact me at president@raptorresearchfoundation.org or Travis Booms, who is chairing our legacy team. To have a really complete picture of the support we receive, I've included in this slide the conference sponsors, which are a significant part of the money we receive each year. This year, Joan Morrison did a fabulous job raising almost $30,000 just in conference sponsorships. And this is the growth pattern of a really healthy organization. I'm just really excited about this. Without any doubt, JRR is our most important product. We're not a boots-on-the-ground conservation organization like the Peregrine Fund, nor are we an advocacy group. We do the science that is the basis for conservation efforts and can be used by decision makers to adopt policies based on solid evidence. In 2022, JRR reached a milestone when its journal impact factor was ranked as the 7th of 29 ornithological journals that were rated. This is the second year in a row that we've ranked in the top 10 and the only time we've reached the first quintile. So special thanks to Cheryl Dykstra, our editor, who's been with us for, I think, 15 years or so, and all the associate editors for their invaluable contributions to this achievement. Conferences run a very close second to the journal in terms of getting our mission accomplished. The opportunities for young researchers to meet and exchange ideas with the old guard are invaluable. Our new mentoring effort is a great addition to the conference experience, as is the Early Career and DEI Joint Luncheon. Thanks to the organizers who put those together. Thanks to Joan Morrison and Gail Garber for their hard work on the ground making this conference such a success. And to Sophie and Becca, who did such a great job with the Oxford Abstract software. 2024 will be in Charlotte, North Carolina, hosted by one of the premier Raptor rehabilitation and education organizations in the country. And in 2025, we're heading off to San Jose in Costa Rica. These are some of the important items on the board's to-do list this year. Some are ongoing projects, sort of like painting the Golden Gate Bridge, and some have achieved rewarding mission accomplished status. Most notably in the latter class, Megan Judkins managed moving the website to a new platform after our old website host company was bought by another company with pretty much disastrous results. We completed a second round of bystander training workshops to make our leadership team aware of what to do when they see uncomfortable situations developing during our conferences. And finally, we awarded our first caregiver grant, which allowed one of our members with a new baby to attend the meeting. These are exciting times at Raptor Research Foundation. I think we have a really young and energetic membership. We've got early career Raptor researchers webinars. We have a Facebook page. There's a mentoring committee that's working on getting both students hooked up with mentors at the conferences and probably working on a longer term project to get these mentor and mentee relationships going on outside of the conferences. Our workshops at the conferences are a really important contribution we're making. We have a new grant, the Kevin Kreitz grant, which will support research on eagles anywhere in the world. That will be launched next year. This year was the first year for the African Raptor Leadership Grant, which is a collaboration between, I think, 13 organizations and to support future leaders in raptor research and conservation in Africa. And we gave out the first $10,000 grant under that program this year. Wings to Fly is a huge success. This was our second year with bringing students or researchers in from outside of the U.S. to the meeting. We had researchers this year from the Czech Republic, from Mongolia, from Argentina, and from Spain. And all of these students and researchers have told me how important coming to this meeting is to them and for their career. This year we gave over $30,000 of travel and research grants out to students and researchers, which I think is really exciting. And we've raised over $40,000 from foundations and individual donations. And finally, Birds of the World access continues to be a really great benefit to our membership, this is, I think, the second or third year that we've done that. So I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask you all to contribute to your favorite Raptor Research Society. There's lots of ways to do that, but the easiest is donating through the Wild Apricots members portal. So if you just log on to the Wild Apricots page, there's a donate button. And there are options to give designated donations to the Wings to Fly program, to supporting page charges for researchers who don't have institutional support. And you can always donate to our unrestricted general funds, and those donations are always more than welcome. Additionally, you can join our legacy giving programs through your will, estate, or life insurance policies. You can contact me or Travis Booms if you're interested in that. And finally, you can support RRF by joining one of our 20 committees. There are lots of opportunities. It's a great way to help out. We are an almost entirely volunteer organization, so we really do need help in all of these different areas. And this is a way to become involved in the leadership of the organization. Most of our board members have worked their way up onto the board by becoming familiar, working on one of the committees. Lots of different opportunities, different ways to join this behind-the-scenes team to help make RRF the great success that it is. So I'll wrap it up there with a thanks to everyone, those who were lucky enough to be at the meeting, and to those of you who didn't have a chance to get to Albuquerque. We hope to see you in Charlotte next year and maybe Costa Rica in 2025. And keep up the good work and all that you do to help make Raptor Research the great organization that it is.